You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's America's Got Talent After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's America's Got Talent After Show.
Good evening, AfterBuzzers, and welcome to AfterBuzz TV. We are the last show closing out Studio A tonight. We are looking at America's Got Talent Season 8, Week 4. Starting off in New York, I am Kaori Takee, and of course with me is the handsome.
Hi, I'm the handsome Daniel Weiss.
The very, very handsome Daniel Weiss. All right, so this episode had a little more bad than last episode, because last episode was clean sweep good. So I was a little bit happy about that because I needed some more of that awful / terrific, awfully terrific stuff. So let's start off with Struck Boys. They age range from 8 to 11. They are a hip-hop dance crew. They are all wearing black wife beaters and camouflage cargo pants. And they joke, exactly, that they're Italian, Staten Island. And if they win their $1 million, they will get more tattoos, more hair gel, and they start their dance.
Right.
And it's not, for me, I'm sorry, I feel so bad saying this about boys, but like young boys in particular. But
be careful what you say after young boys.
I just was not interested by them at all. It was nothing stellar. They did remind me of Justin Bieber. However, I did think it was kind of not a compliment when Mel B said they're like Justin Biebers, because Justin Bieber's kind of a train wreck. But yeah, no, I didn't like their dance very much. What did you think of it?
Yeah, it wasn't great. As far as dancing in general, I didn't think they were very good. And even if you say, oh, well, they were good for 10-year-olds, I don't think they were. I think
agree.
there's a lot of kids that have been on the show that are better. And it just wasn't anything fantastic.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think one of the main dancers kept trying to use his childish charm to get her away, saying like, oh, we love girls. And he said in the back, we may fight a lot, but we're still friends. I don't know. Their charm didn't work on me, and neither did their dance. But they made it through. The judges liked them.
Yeah, I realized after tonight's show that they haven't, that they will put through anyone that's mediocre and above.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've realized the only people they say no to are the people that are really bad.
Yeah, that's something I've kind of noticed as well. This season feels a little more lenient than last season. I don't know if it's because of the chemistry of the judges. Maybe Heidi seemed a little sweeter than... Well, Sharon Osbourne's a sweetheart, but, Sharon Osbourne was able to say no more often. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that they were being way too nice this season.
I agree.
They're just, oh, okay, that's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
We'll put you through. But I don't think, like, when you match them up with some of the other dancers that they already have, they're going to be horrible.
Yeah, and I feel like the previous seasons we've heard, it's really good, but you still need to mature. And when you mature, come back, and maybe then you'll be ready for America's Got Talent. And that's kind of what I felt for Struck Boys. They were good, but like you said, there are plenty of children their age that probably could hit a higher mark.
Yeah.
So, but they went through, and then we had some... I don't even know what my notes say. Extreme dance. They went through. It was really quick montage. And then we have the Chris Steph brothers. So it's a melange of names of Christopher and Stefan. And so it's Chris Steph brothers. Not really brothers. They are related through their parents, who are from circus families, and they do a lot of things that change the mold, they like to say, and revolutionize. So their talent is holding each other, kind of like Rebecca and Donovan last season.
Right.
And they went through, but I personally felt they were a lot more shakier than Rebecca and Donovan were previous people for similar acts. What did you think of this one?
This was just another example of they were okay. There's been better. There have been better this season. I could never do anything like that.
No.
Yet, until I get, hit by a meteorite or something. But it just, meh.
And here's the thing. They also started stripping down. And I didn't understand what that gimmick was. What was the point of stripping down? It just made them look shakier. However, Heidi did like it. And I guess it's for the ladies. I don't know. It wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
I think they got all 4 judges rooted for them. And the next one we had was, I can't get her name, Amaya Marie.
Amaya Marie, I believe.
Amaya Marie, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
So she was one of the more entertaining persons, in my opinion, of the night. I'm not saying more talented, but more entertaining. She was a singing mime. And apparently she was a teacher at the University of Buffalo, and she's been doing miming for 3 years. She was trained by, her instructor was trained by Marcel. Yeah, Marcel Marceau. And she said she got booed in the States, but in Europe, they absolutely loved her. So now she's ready to come on America's Got Talent and show the intellectual people. She specifies that you have to be intellectual to appreciate this. Her singing mime act, which makes no sense to begin with. But, all right. What did you think before I give you my opinion?
I thought she was bad. What is a mime? Someone who doesn't talk.
Well, first of all, she couldn't even mime.
Yeah, she wasn't good at the movement part of the mime, and she wasn't good at the not talking part of the mime. And she wasn't even a great singer.
No, she was not.
I can claim to be a dancer with 2 broken legs. It's the same thing. Yeah, I'm a dancer, but I don't dance.
And it's funny because Howie Mandel, he said she can't sing. She doesn't have the dance moves. She doesn't have the singing moves, well, dancing mime moves, but she has the confidence. And she was really cocky up there. She was kind of hating on them, saying the audience members are a lot more intellectual than they think they are. You guys are just not smart enough. Basically, she was saying that. And I was like, I think I'm a smart girl. I just was not entertained whatsoever.
Right. Well, the best thing, and they pointed it out, was she goes, well, they get it in Europe. And they said, well, Mel B's European, and she didn't like it.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mel B's actually really good this season. I really like her.
Right. And I would respond to her in the voice of a redneck hillbilly from Kansas, which is, if you don't like America, get out of America.
Yeah, that's true. And it's so funny because she was like, I'm going to go Howie Mandel was like, I think you're going to Europe.
Yeah, you're going to Europe.
And Mel B was like, no, you're not going to Europe.
Well, she might on her own.
Speaking of mimes, I believe there was some mime action in the movie Serial Buddies.
Yeah, sure.
Take it away.
Yeah, Serial Buddies is a comedy that involves murder, mystery, and fun, and I believe some cereal in it. It is a fun movie that was created and produced by Maria Menounos and Kevin Undergaro.
Yes.
I'm afraid I'm going to butcher
intrigued.
his last name. Yeah, it is a great movie, and if you go to, is it serialbuddies.com?
You can actually go to iTunes.
Yeah, that one.
You can go to iTunes and you can rent it for $4.99, and just for $1 more, you can actually purchase the thing.
Why not buy it?
Yeah, why not buy it? You see it once, and for $1 more, you can see it as many times as you want, because trust me, you're going to want to see this more than once.
It's true. This is a movie that is hilarious. It is starring some people you've never heard of. It is starring some people you have heard of. Like, how about Henry Winkler, the Fonz?
Or Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown.
Hello, Artie Lang, the Artie Lang.
Yes.
It is Maria Menounos.
Beth Bears.
There are a ton of
Kathy Lee
people.
Gifford.
It is hilarious. And if you don't like it, then you're insane.
And let me tell you something, you're never going to find anything like it. Like the story is so original. There's nothing else similar to it.
You know how you have that cool friend in your group of friends that's always like, hey, you guys got to check out this thing you've never heard of. It's really cool. Don't you want to be that cool friend that does that to your group of friends?
And I'm sure Serial Buddies is going to get an awesome cult following. It has to.
I thought you were about to say is going to get an Oscar, and I would agree with you.
Cult following, I think, is a little more precise.
And an Oscar.
Oscars don't usually like those comedy things.
Don't usually.
But Serial Buddies can make a difference. But anyways, yes, check it out. Moving on to, there was this montage of bad stuff, like a unicycle jousting and tricks. That didn't
was
work
terrible.
out. Okay. And then Billy Joel's Honesty song came on, and I love Billy Joel, by the way. That song is awesome. Then there was a slew of bad rapping. There was a cat driving, which was really cute, but it didn't go through. And then we had a couple doing some dance moves, ballroom dancing, in a chicken costume. You were hoping that they were going to lay eggs.
Yep. They did lay an egg. It was called their act.
Indeed, they did, and it sucked. So that dance was awful. And I kind of wonder if they would have done better if they were out of their costumes. But, anyway, next act was Hammerstep from Brooklyn. They are wearing gas masks, and they're doing an Irish dance meets hip hop like dance. And yeah, they're really good. They made it through. What did you think? It was really short. I didn't feel like it was 90 seconds. I felt like it was 15, but
They may have edited it. I'm not sure. They were good. They were really good. I'm getting really sick of dance this season. I feel like every episode is 50% dance, but they were good. I liked it. You know, New York's going to be lousy with dancers for that round, but you know, it was good.
yeah, you're right. There's a lot of dancing this season, and especially in this episode. You know, the next episode, excuse me. The next act was actually Bones the Machine and DJ Aaron, and they were also wearing gas masks, and they are also dancers, but they are contortionists, and I love contortionists because I'm so fascinated by them, but I'm used to seeing one at a time. And this time they were doing it together, and I was actually very, very impressed. I thought that we didn't get to see enough of it because I think they felt like it went through a quick montage, and I wish we could have seen the whole act. What did you think of this act?
Yeah, I was intrigued. I would see more. It's like last year when they had Street. Or Step or whatever. I think his name was Street.
There was Turf.
Turf, that's the one. There was Turf, who was great, and he was a dancer, and he did contortionism. That may be a word I made up. It may not be. But seeing them do it together and with each other, I want to see more of that. I want to see them incorporated together more. But I liked it. I was fine with it.
I completely agree. It was probably one of the more fascinating dance acts because we have so many. We really want to see something original and different, not just cute kids or great dancers. We want to see like mind-blowing stuff if it's going to be a same genre or similar genre that we're used to. And the next act is again another dance group, and they are called the Rock Dance Project. And they do ballet and modern dancing. And it was a quick montage as well. I can't even tell you if it was good or not. All I know is that they went through because it was so quick.
Yeah, they busted through that one. It was whatever.
Yeah, and then Mel B mentioned that she wants to have a body like any of theirs.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're dancers. Of course they're going to have bomb bedaggle bodies. And Mel B has a great body too. But
A bomb bedaggle body, would you say?
I would say that. I would. And then we have Leon Etienne, the illusionist. And you can go ahead and tell us about that.
He was great. I liked it. I thought it was fun. You know, it's the here's a card. I'm going to do another trick and then come back to the card. I've seen it, but I like it because it's like a suspension of what you're waiting, of expectations. So I really like that. I know when we were watching, I think we were both like, all right, when's he going to pay off the card and the squirt guns? And he did. I liked it. I want to see him go bigger or, you know, step it up a lot more, but I liked it.
I feel like it went so fast, though. Again, it was a montage, and I would have liked to have it slow down because in one scene you see the blanket go through, the next scene is like a different prop. I mean, I'm into magic acts, and I like to see the process of it. So I wish they didn't edit it to cut it down like that. I mean,
Right.
it was a good act, and I'm happy that he went through because hopefully, you know, we'll get to see more of him and do more acts. And I did like the fact that he brought his girlfriend there. I thought that was kind of cute that they're working together and helping each other out.
Right.
I'm all for couples helping each other out. So, exactly. Wake up. Wake up.
Sorry.
All right. So the next act, there's a slew of fast acts. There was a cute break dancer, 11 years old. He made it through. Cute. One break dancer. Again, I think when it comes to break dancing, you want to see a bigger group.
Right.
And then there's another dancing group. So we had like so much dancing, and then there's illusionists in between.
Too much dancing.
Too much dancing. And then we have Sophia Lucia. She is a singer. She has I was about to say annoying. Can I say annoying? Annoying voice. It wasn't my thing.
You can say it. She's not in here, is she?
I hope you're listening, maybe.
I hope you're not. You're just insulted.
Well, she went through, and she's a dancer. What did you think?
Meh.
Yeah.
She was fine. Again, I don't remember too well because I zone out now when people come out and dance. She was okay.
Yeah, she was okay.
You know, it's when you have these groups that are so in sync together and doing these, you know, big flips and all these different moves, and then to have one girl come out and just do a solo act where I don't like dancing that much anyway. I'm like, meh.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, she actually reminded me of last week's girl who was a cheerleader and her coach kept moving her up and down. It was the same kind of thing. So nothing new there, I guess. I'm telling you, though, but considering all the acts that's been going through, those judges are going to have a lot to choose from and a lot of work to narrow those down.
Well, I have a feeling that they'll go through when they get to Vegas and cut like half of the
They
dancers
have to.
before they even see them.
They have to because it's a ridiculous amount. And maybe they'll do like last season where some people won't even have to perform again. They'll just go straight through.
Right.
So, by the
Well,
way,
let's stop talking. Yes?
well, I wonder why I haven't seen any talented pets that went through this season yet. I'm
Right.
waiting for that.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the season is like not even begun.
It's begun.
We saw a cat driving.
But he didn't make it through.
No.
And he wasn't driving. He was just hanging
know.
out. He probably had his paws tied to the steering wheel. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but he probably did.
What were you going to say?
I was just trying to move on to the best act of the night.
Okay, what was that?
What I call the O'Neills.
And this was really your best act of the night.
Close. Well, maybe second or third. But oh man, I'll let you begin.
No, go ahead. You are enthusiastic about them, so go ahead and explain.
So we had a little girl and her brother come out, and I believe she was 9, and her brother is older.
The girl was 6.
Yeah, that.
The brother was 9.
Great. One of them was 9. And they, talked about how they like music and grew up with it. And she just came in and started singing, and it worked. And I made a joke to Kaori before when we were watching it. I was like, oh man, I hope she comes out and sings death metal. And then she came out and sang death metal. And I gotta say, like, I'm not a big death metal fan, but I've heard a lot of it. And she was just as good or better than a lot of the crap that I've heard out there that have albums. So if you're gonna have somebody singing death metal, why not her? I thought they were good. For that.
And by the way, for a 6-year-old that was X'd, I'm surprised she held her composure because being X'd is like loud and obnoxious. But I get it. I get it. I'm completely not a death metal fan, so I don't understand the appeal of it, but I get why she went through is because she has the element of surprise, and like you said, you heard a lot, so she has some talent there. So,
She has talent for what it is.
yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of death metal fans that watch America's Got Talent and
Yeah.
are listening to this right now. So I don't mean to offend you, but a lot of it is not very good. But I've heard bad and I've heard really bad for that genre.
Yeah.
And she was good for that.
Do you think that was this song original? I
Yeah.
don't know. It was, right?
I think so.
They have-
Zombie Skin,
And they have other original songs like Lullaby
Crash.
something.
Lullaby Crash.
Well, look at you. You already got a fan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll see more of them because of that appeal, because they're unique. They're very unique.
Right.
So, the next one, well, before we get to that, do you want to talk about the lovely iTunes that we would all like you guys to go visit?
Well, I don't want to talk about it,
Yes, you do.
but iTunes Caveman wants to talk
Okay,
about it.
iTunes Caveman, go.
iTunes Caveman has message. Go to iTunes, rate and comment, tell a friend. It only take a minute. iTunes like you.
Yes.
You like iTunes.
Yes, thank you, iTunes Caveman. Thank you all of you guys for listening to AfterBuzz TV. Please again go and listen to iTunes Caveman and stop by, rate, comment, and we really appreciate all the feedback. We get back to you guys, and we have over 60 shows plus this summer season. So if you watch
Yes.
TV, there is definitely a show for you to check out.
Fire bad, iTunes good.
That's true. Fire is bad. All right. So, next act was the Gospel Chorale from Virginia State University. And they are just a gospel choir that happens to dance at the same time. They've got a very, very, very talented singer named Bernard Walker. And they sang for 90 seconds a Christian song. And they had the audience standing up in ovation. And what did you think of this act?
They were okay. It was a gospel choir.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, is there really an audience out there for this that's going to make it a big success?
But see, that's the
I
thing.
don't know.
You'll be surprised
I
because
will be surprised.
I think there is a huge audience for this kind of group because they're singing songs of spirituality and heart and has all these different kind of elements, and people are really intrigued by that. And I think people would pay money to watch this kind of what's the word? Experience, to have this kind of experience that they can offer. So I'm curious to see what other songs they can do, and when they continue on and the stage gets bigger, how their music and their dancing will change. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to that.
We'll see. It was, whatever to me. They're a good choir, but I didn't think they were anything exceptional.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, from New York, we moved to Los Angeles, and you actually were a participant as an audience member in one of the Los Angeles tapings.
Yes. Not this one.
Not this one.
So I'm wondering if they're going to go back or if they just cut all that. Because the one that I saw, there were like 8 people that went through to Vegas.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 8 people in the audience.
8 people in the audience, and that's it. Well, I'm just curious, if they're going to get to Vegas and there's going to be people that we haven't seen. Or maybe, since everything's already been shot, except for the live stuff, I think everything past Vegas or up until after Vegas has been shot. Maybe they cut a bunch of the people and decided, all right, we don't need to show them because we're not going to show them in Vegas.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, who knows?
We still have Chicago next
Right.
week.
And maybe they'll come back. Who knows?
They have to. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So we start off with Chris. He is 42, and his act is a sculptor. His very unique art.
He calls it origami.
Did he really call it origami?
Origami.
He did not call origami.
He did.
Oh my dear. I am so happy I missed that because I would have just punched the TV in the face. He chews gum and he makes origami out of it, meaning he molds things and they're like so tiny, like this small, and he goes in front of the judges and chews gum and creates a dolphin and a whale.
Slug.
Slug.
Dolphin
Oh, see,
and a
I
slug,
already
which is
just
even worse.
Even worse. Not only, yeah. What
Than a
would you
whale?
think?
Well, it's like, it's a balloonist that comes out,
So it's a
blows up
gumst?
a long balloon and says it's a snake.
Yeah.
He just mashed up some gum in his mouth and said, it's this thing.
But here's the thing that puzzles me is that he says he's been doing it for 37 years. 37.
He didn't say he made any money off of doing it for 37 years.
Who is impressed by this and who is telling him that his art is impressive?
His mother, whose house he lives in.
I don't understand. I have to give him credit for being in good spirits. He was backstage showing all these chicks the gum, and even though he got X's everywhere, he said he had to give it a try. I mean, I gave him props for that. And Howie did say one good thing. One obvious thing was, what were you thinking to make things so small when you're going to be in such a grand stage? It doesn't make any sense. It's true. And what was that board doing up there on stage?
Yeah, that was weird. He had a board on stage that was covered, and they didn't do anything with it.
By the way, anyway, all right, so the next act was, I didn't catch the name, but it was a little band that had their original music. It was very lackluster music. It was campfire songs.
Yeah, I just wrote them down as boring singers.
Yes. And the judges agreed with us. They didn't pass them through. And they said that they're conflicted basically with original music, because when it comes to original music, it has to be good for them to want to go through, because if people are not familiar with the song, then they're not captivated by it. So the next act is also an original song, Brandon and Savannah. They are brother and sister. The girl is 13 going on 35, and Brandon is 15, and they sing, and fantastic.
Yeah, they were good.
Very, very good. But again,
It was teeny bop singing, but it was good. It was fine.
didn't you say that, for the kind of genre of music it is, you actually kind of liked it?
I thought it was good for that type of music that I
Right.
don't really like, but I could totally see that being on the radio on Kiss FM, if that's still around.
It's still around.
Rick D's in the morning.
Rick Dees is not around. It is Ryan
Oh, he's
Seacrest.
dead?
No, I think he moved over.
Okay, to heaven?
No, another
Stop
station.
Toying with my emotions like this.
Well, if you care so much, you can always go to Wikipedia.
Nah, I don't care that much.
Anyway, so yeah, they were good. I like them. We'll see if they have other good original songs or if they just put their best song forward.
Right, we'll see.
Yes. The next act was Taylor. He, I think, is probably your favorite.
Yes.
26 years old comedian. He's performed a lot at restaurants and birthday parties. People stood up to him. He was a fantastic comedian. He had great personality. His mannerisms, the way he walked, I liked him. He had like a rebuttal for everything that was said to him. He was just humorous. I really want to see him go far. I'm telling you right now, I want to see this man in the top 10 at least.
Yeah, he had a great stage presence. He had a great character, whether that's really him or, a heightened version of him. He was good, and then he was funny. It reminded me a bit of this comedian named Todd Barry, who has a very dry delivery like him. But he's one of those guys that you can just talk to him and you'll crack up. And I feel like that's what this guy is. He's just like a funny guy to talk to, but then his jokes are also really good.
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny how you mentioned about his heightened personality possible. I think he was pure genuine.
Oh, I think so too. I mean, you never know, but I think that's just him.
Yeah. And I liked him. And I liked it, the way he was having this funny conversation with Mel B. And then he made a joke with Heidi Klum about him having sex often, and Heidi Klum didn't get it. But that's okay.
Yeah, she kept saying, "Good for you. That's good." And it's like, no, he's joking.
Yeah. Fantastic act. You guys should watch AGT just for this guy. Hopefully, we will see him at the Laugh Factory in LA soon because I would love to see him. Next act, Jacob Kaye. He says he's inspired by David Blaine. He's a pro-party stuntman. Basically, he starts off by swallowing a string, pulling it out of his belly, and then taking a black African emperor scorpion, putting it in his mouth, and trying, because he fails, at blowing bubbles. What did you think of this less than mediocre act?
It was dumb. He said he was inspired by David Blaine, so much so that he did an exact trick that David Blaine does. The pulling the string thing, I've seen him do that. It's on his specials. He's done the exact same thing.
But does David Blaine do it well? Okay.
Well, I mean, as well as you can for swallowing a piece of string and then pulling it out of your stomach.
How do you do that?
It's gross if you want me to tell you.
It is gross. I was heaving a little bit.
Different strings. I'm guessing that it's, I mean, I don't know. But I'm guessing that he embedded that string in his stomach somehow and had just a little bit coming out. And so he just pulled, he swallowed another piece of string and then pulled out the one that was already in his stomach. And then the scorpion thing wasn't a trick. He put a scorpion in his mouth. He tried to blow bubbles. He didn't, and the scorpion stung him.
Yeah, that's why I didn't understand. So does David Blaine, because I'm not familiar with this character, does David Blaine put a scorpion in his mouth and effectively blow bubbles?
No, he doesn't do anything like that. David Blaine is the guy that did things like he stayed in a ball of ice for a week. Or he was buried alive, things like that. But he'll do street magic where he'll go out, and just do tricks in front of people like that. But the scorpion thing wasn't a trick. It was a stunt. And I don't even know what the point was. I can go put a scorpion in my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm not going to because I'm smart.
Well, he couldn't put a scorpion in his mouth without getting stung anyway. And then he did even say to the paramedic backstage that it was the biggest bite or sting he's had ever. Ugh, not a good act. I wouldn't pay a dime for that one. Okay. And then we have Johnny Tong. He does a quick magic act also. He farts flames. He has cards by his crotch. Through magnetic. He was dragged out. But when he was dragged out, I was like, oh, he should have been kept because he was kind of funny. He was from Burbank. Woohoo, Burbank.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. There was another guy, another act. I don't even remember it. It was lackluster. It was a montage of bad magic acts because Howard Stern was saying he really wants a good magic act. And so do we. Next one is Nathan Fan, 24, and he is actually a good magic act. He is singing I Want to Break Free while he's in a straitjacket. And initially the judges don't like him, but then he does another act where he gets a packet of really cool cards. He puts them in his mouth and he singles out the card that the judges saw that was folded in his mouth. And that's the Four of Hearts. What did you think of this whole snippet of Nathan Fan getting to do two different acts and making it through?
It was interesting because his first act, I was thinking, he walked out already wearing the straitjacket.
Right.
So, the whole point that they show you them putting it on is so that you can see it's really latched, it's real. So when he walks out, there were parts of it that looked like they were Velcroed on, that he was just opening up. So it didn't seem like anything special. He was an okay singer. He was funny. He fell down at one point, and I couldn't tell if that was real or not.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
But he played with it, and he was funny. So that was whatever. But the fact that they said, do one more trick, and he just pulled this trick out, not
Do you really
expecting
think
to
he
do it.
did?
Well, I'm sure. Well, it's a trick he does,
Right.
but I'm sure he wasn't expecting to do that trick. I'm sure it's one of those things that's always prepared. He can do it in a split second like he did, but I don't think he was planning on doing it. And that trick was a lot better. So it at least gave me enough to want to see what he will do now.
Right.
Hopefully he won't mess it up in the next round, but I'd like to see more of him.
Now, is he from Ireland or something?
I couldn't tell you. It sounded like he had some sort of Irish accent.
Yeah. I think that, honestly, if I recall, he's one of the better magicians this season. I know the yoga guy was really cool.
Yeah, Special Head.
That's
He
right.
was my favorite of the season so far.
And you know what would have made it of the season, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
And he knows what he can do to continue to be my favorite.
Have you actually been able to, someone left a comment on the YouTube about that trick. You should check it out. It's really cool. And you guys should check it out as well.
I don't want to know how he did it. I thought it was cool that he did it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It is absolutely cool. And Nathan Fan, we're rooting for you because we actually want to see a magician make it far.
Yeah. So Nathan, come back, be bigger, bring lasers.
Bring lasers, yeah. And bring him with you.
Yeah.
All right, so the last act of the night was a group of 3 who met online. They met a few weeks ago online, got together a few days ago before the audition in Los Angeles. I guess it's a Hispanic, a Korean, and a New Yorker.
Puerto Rican, a New Yorker,
Yeah.
and
South Korean.
South Korean.
And they call their group Forte. The age range from 22 to 33. They've never performed together except once they hit the AGT audition stage. What did you think of this act? Like, what was your expectation and what did you think of it?
I didn't really have expectations. At first, I thought their whole story seemed fake to me, that they're going to come out here, they're going to sing together, they're going to be good, saying that they only just met. So I didn't know what to expect. But then when they came out and they started singing opera, I thought I was impressed. But then when they did it, they each did their part. So I was like, okay, maybe they could have just met, because if you just practice your own part, and then they harmonized together, and that was really good. And again, I feel like if you have that song down, you can harmonize with somebody within a couple weeks, especially if they did it over Skype or the phone or something. So I liked it. I thought I was very impressed. I want to see more. As I said to you while we were watching it, it was good. But when you bring in these 3 guys that are just dressed like regular schlubs, you bring in the other 2 guys that were dressed like regular schlubs that sang opera, is it going to be that special anymore? Because now you have 3 different acts where they're all just, you didn't expect it at first.
Exactly.
But now it's just on the talents. Who is going to be the best opera singer?
That's true. I agree with you that it's kind of like it's becoming a thing to not expect the expected.
Right.
And
it's called good TV.
Yeah, it is good TV. But the thing with them is they are 3, and I like seeing a group rather than just one person singing.
Right.
So that was really good. I was really impressed. I liked the eclectic thing. I like how the New Yorker said, this is what America's all about, the culture, the diversity. Really like them. And 3 was definitely better than 1 when it comes to opera singing, in my opinion. This was probably one of the better acts. This and The Comedian was probably my favorite of the night. How about you for tonight?
Yeah, I liked them, The Comedian, and of course the O'Neills. Yeah, they were good. I liked it a lot. Like I said, I'm interested to see what happens, and in a good way. I really want to see now who is the best opera singer. So, bring it.
Yeah, bring it. And next week they're going to be in Chicago.
Yes.
So we'll see how Chicago fares. I hope they come back to LA so we can see your audition.
Let's hope. I didn't actually audition. I just watched it.
Oh, you didn't audition? No,
People are gonna be like, "Where's that skinny guy?"
You're the heavy metal auditioner.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Well, anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by for AfterBuzz TV's America's Got Talent After Show.
Yeah.
You can catch us next week, but in the meantime, have you built your Twitter yet?
Nope. Check me out at Doctor Who Live on Facebook.
That's okay.
That's my improv group. Eventually, I'll have a Twitter.
Go find his improv group in the meantime, and you can follow me at KAORIOUS, Kaorius, and you can follow all of us here at AfterBuzz TV, and we will see you all next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.